steps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff. But
Angel Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon, you want one quick question?
We can't ask Rashad question.
Hey, Rashad.
Sorry, Jesus. Soulja Boy, he responded, he has to pay 4.25 million to a defendant, his former assistant, in an alleged SA case. You see Soulja got his collar pop. Meg asked for a statement. Meg's been out there every day in LA. Meg, if you guys don't know, or most of y'all probably know, but she got fame from covering the Tory Lanez Megan Thee Stallion trial. She was there for the A$AP Rocky, I was about to say Rihanna, but A$AP Rocky Relly trial, and she's been out there like the only one out there for the Soulja Boy trial. She also did the OMG Girls trial. I want to say she did the OMG Girls trial as well, where they got the money to where T.I. was like, I'm retired from rap. Anyways, Soulja Boy.
Think about the verdict.
Today, I stand before you deeply disappointed in the verdict delivered in my case. I firmly believe that the decision made in court was not based on facts or substantial evidence, but rather on factors that were outside of my control. The truth was overshadowed by the involvement of individuals such as the jury who were not present during the events in question. And I feel that the system allowed external influences to shape the outcome. Furthermore, the use of Jane Doe as the identity of the accusers raises serious concerns about fairness. Keeping these individuals anonymous while I'm forced to face public scrutiny creates an unequal playing field. I believe this entire process has been tainted by a system that is not designed to protect the rights of the accused. I want to make it clear that I'm innocent. This case was never about justice. It was about money and personal gain, and I will not let that stand. I am committed to filing an appeal and fighting for the truth to be revealed. I will continue to stand by my decision and believe that I did not commit the crimes I'm accused of. Thank you to everyone who has supported me during this time. I promise that I will fight until the end to clear my name and expose the truth. Thank you.
I'm so sorry. Would you mind repeating the first three sentences?
Today, I stand before you deeply disappointed in the verdict delivered in my case. I firmly believe that the decision made in court was not based on facts or substantial evidence, but rather on factors that were outside of my control. The truth was overshadowed by the involvement of individuals such as the jury who were not present during the events in question. And I feel like the system allowed external influence to shape the outcome.
Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dang, man. Meg should have probably told him to put his collar down, though. Let's see. Hey, this said the verdict was wrong because the members of the jury weren't present during the events in question. Anytime someone puts on Malcolm X classes, you lying. Bro, black people don't take nothing seriously, bro. They literally don't. 4 million is crazy, bro. 4 million is crazy. Let me read this story. Because I ain't gonna lie, bro. I feel like if it get to the point, if it's so traumatic to the point of 4.2 million, you might as well just give them jail time. Like, I'd rather do jail time than pay 4.25 million. Man, what are we talking about? Soulja Boy must pay 4.25 million for SB, a former assistant jury finds. The Jane Doe plaintiff received $4 million in compensatory damages and another $250,000 in punitive damages for claims that the rapper assaulted SB in her. Man, nah, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It needs to be, I feel like what you were making with that job, say maybe 2, 3, maybe 4 years at the most. I know for a fact she wasn't making no $4 million a year as no assistant. So say she was making 100. That's high. So 75, say she was making 75, 100. We'll say 100 for the sake of it's an even number. Say she was making 100 as an assistant. Okay. You making 100. The first year I was traumatized. I couldn't really get my mind back right to really work. Second year, I was having trouble because, it's like, when's the last time you worked? A whole year ago. Third year, I'm taking you to court. I'm filing legal fees, everything like that. So I missed a third year of work. Fourth year is for me to bounce back from the trauma of the trial. That's being extremely generous, but that's 4 years. 4 years, 400,000. Even that's a lot of money. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know how $4 million makes up for what happened to you. I feel like what makes you can't tell nobody, what I'm saying, their justice for um, how they kind of do as a victim and stuff like that. They the ones that had to suffer, what I'm saying, experience what they say they experienced allegedly. I don't know though, bro. Like, it ain't gonna be no dollar amount. Like, you need to do time, bro. If you got breath, what I'm saying, air in your lungs, bro. It needs to be time. It needs to be time. Like, because I feel like you're not gonna learn your lesson for the people in the future. If you really did what I'm saying you're doing, it's cool. The money cool. I appreciate it, everything like that, and it's making up for the money that I lost from the traumatic experience. At the same time, you ain't learning nothing if you already rich. Like, someone like a Soulja Boy, I have no clue what he's making in 2025. But say Soulja Boy is making 9-10 million in 2025. He's probably making more, but I'm just keeping it on the low end just because I have no clue how much he's making. Say he's making 9, 8, 10 million. Half of that is going to this. That's crazy, bro. But at the same time, he still has 5, 6, 7 million left. So if you still have 5, 6, 7 million left, how are you gonna learn your lesson? That's all I'm saying. What lesson is there to learn? Like, you learn the lesson from doing time, going to the little classes, everything like that they give you, the judge order you to go here, go there. That's how you change. I feel like your mentality and as a person. I don't think you change as a person because you gave a lot of money. What next time he gonna be like, I don't even want to do that for $1 million. I don't know. But Soulja said he ain't do it anyway, so we'll see. But let me read these. A California jury found that Grammy nominated rapper Soulja Boy liable for claims he as B and harassed a Jane Doe plaintiff while she worked as his personal assistant, lived with him, and entered into a sometimes consensual intimate. Now, see, come on, bro. Come on, nah, bro. 4 million, and we was actually like, man, I ain't gonna lie, you lost me in the first paragraph. I ain't gonna lie to you, Chief. 4 million, and we was already dating, and we was already had a thing going on. So you charging me 4 million for someone y'all know. Y'all know we was rocking at some point. Y'all know she was living with me. Y'all know she was living with me, and we would have consensual, relations. And I gotta pay 4 million for acting the way towards her after we already. That don't even make sense. That's like you get a divorce, right? And your wife or your ex-wife or husband, but I'm saying wife because I'm a man. Your ex-wife sue you for something like this. And you got to pay $4 million to your ex-wife about like, oh, he was pushing up on me. He was being kind of suggestive. Ain't cool being suggestive. Ain't cool. None of that. None of that. That's not cool. But $4 million to your wife is insane. Former wife, ex-wife, former, you know what I'm saying? Crazy. That's why If you hire someone, you need to keep that stuff. Look, a lot of people, y'all want to hire people and everything like that. You know yourself, bro. You know yourself, man. You got to keep that stuff professional, bro. You got to keep it professional. Keep stuff separate. Have your friends and have work colleagues, associates, acquaintances. That will save you, because the whole thing of her being an assistant, it throws a whole nother little twist. Excuse me, twist in it when business involved, and it's like this businessman not being. Anyways, let's get back to it. After 2 days, 2 days, nah, bruh. 2 days of deliberate. Oh wait, it's just deliberation. It's a trial been going on for a little minute because I seen the video of him walking out of court probably about a week ago. Anyways, after 2 days of deliberations, the jury announced Thursday that the Crank That rapper, born DeAndre Cortez Way, owes the woman $4 million in compensatory damages. The panel also agreed that Way acted with malice, oppression, or fraud, and awarded her with another $250,000 in punitive damages. I'll say this. I'm not going to lie to you. This part right here, the way that we see Soulja Boy be acting on live and everything like that, I'll say these two, because this one I don't know. But we've seen Soulja Boy, and this ain't no allegedly, this is just what we've seen. Soulja Boy yelling to the camera, tweet, oh man, forget Kanye West. Oh, I love Kanye West. Drake say something. F Drake, forget Drake, this and that. Drake, he do all that. Like we seen that time and time again since like he been popping for real. Because you know, remember he was beefing with Bow Wow back in like 06, 08. He been doing that since he came out. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I feel like I got justice. Obviously, it's not gonna return everything I lost. I lost way more than I gained. You lost way more than you gained, bro. You got $4 million and you say you. I feel like if it was that bad, why not push for jail time and a criminal case as opposed to money? Like, nah, I want him behind bars. I want him to have to go through counseling. I want him to have to go through, you know what I'm saying, ABC while he locked up, exercises, limited access to the outside world, if any access to the outside world at all. I want him to go through that, sitting there for a year or two and get his mind right. Because where he going right now, I care for him. I love him. This is someone who I used to be, you know what I'm saying, had a relationship with. This is someone who I worked for. Like at the end of the day, regardless of all the abuse and stuff, there's still that, you know what I'm saying? We had that history. She didn't even say that. She said, I lost more than I gained. You lost more than $5 million as an assistant? Let me be Soulja Boy assistant. I know he ain't gonna hire me. Let me stop. This is a serious situation, but geez Louise, $4 million is crazy. I feel like I got justice. Obviously, it's not gonna return everything I lost. I lost way more than I gained. My hope is that he doesn't do this to any more women. No, you should push for time behind bars. If you feel like he is that dangerous and everything, it shouldn't be the $4 million. $4 million, everybody take $4 million, of course. It should definitely be, put him behind bars so he could change his ways, change his mindset, have time to think about it. Right. The woman said it was hard to step forward to testify, especially when she had to give embarrassing details about her lowest points in her relationship with Way. And I was grateful that the jury understood. I don't even recognize that person anymore. The person he has turned me into. It made me a worse version of myself. It was like I was in survival mode. Pray for that victim 100%. Sorry she had to go with what she went through, an abusive situation. You know, you definitely don't want to talk down on victims, alleged victims, whatever the case might be, because you just don't know. A part of, why don't you just leave? No, we're not doing that, because part of the abuse is manipulating you into thinking you can't leave. All right. In their slightly mixed decision, the jurors found that Wade placed the woman in fear and subjected her to SO, contact, gender violence, and intentional infliction of emotional distress. Jeez Louise, Soulja Boy. They found the woman also suffered severe or pervasive harassment when she worked for Wade between 2019 and January and July 2019. The jury declined to award anything for the woman's false imprisonment and hostile work environment claims, finding Wade did not deprive her of her freedom or ability to resign. As the verdict was read, Wade looked straight ahead. He appeared to have a faint smile on his face when the clerk revealed the jury has awarded $760,000 for the woman's assault claim. His expression dropped when he heard the jury awarded $1.5 million for the SB cause of action. He left the courtroom with his head down shortly after the clerks said the jury decided he might face punitive charges as well. The district attorney never filed charges. I was never charged or convicted of this criminally. So to be accused of this civilly is beyond me. I've never done any of the things they're accusing me of. I just feel like this is very unfair, Wade told Rolling Stone Thursday afternoon. In a longer prepared statement that he read off his phone, Wade said, I want to make it clear that I'm innocent. This case was never about justice. It was about money and personal gain. And I will not let that stand. I'm committed to filing an appeal and fighting for the truth to be revealed. Jane Doe's lead lawyer, Ronald Zambrono, praised the verdict, saying, we're happy our client was vindicated. His co-counsel, Nima Romani, said Jane Doe was particularly grateful. The jury found Wade liable on the SA claims. Those were the ones that certainly caused the most damage. She feels vindicated because he called her a liar. He said she was never an employee, nothing more than a disgruntled, jealous, lying ex. The jury rejected that argument. Romani said that prior to the trial, Wade's defense made settlement offer of $100,000. He said, oh my goodness, Soulja Boy, bro. Soulja Boy, a mess, bro. This is a mess. Not gonna lie, man. Hold on. Let me see. Where we at? Because I want to see this whole Soulja Boy thing. Like, did he ever talk about it on live or something? Former assistant. Did he talk about it on a live or something? Nope. That's just a video. Soulja Boy reveals his former assistant stole $20K. All right. Anyways. We're gonna get back to it. Testifying about his net worth during the punitive damages phase Thursday afternoon, Wade admits he pays $25,000 a month for his rented mansion and owns 5 cars, including a Lamborghini. But he only claimed he made $20,000 late last month and was late to pay his landlord. He also told jurors he has 2 young kids, ages 1 and 2, likes health insurance, and that the SA accusations caused him to lose on a big performance at Coachella. One of his lawyers, Ayang Inyang, told the jury that the extra $4 million in punitive damages requested by the Jane Doe would be crippling and likely lead to bankruptcy. During closing arguments Monday, the woman wiped tears as the lawyer said she deserved $73.6 million in total damages for the alleged horror she suffered at the hands of Wade. Zambrono painted Wade as a brutal boss who regularly and subjected her to labor code violations and dressed up in non-prescription fake glasses in a suit to lie to the jurors about the abuse. He bleeped her, he punched her, he kicked her, he cut her, he picked her up and slammed her, he choked her, left bruises and squeezing on her arm. He grabbed her head by the mirror and said, no one will love you. Dang, that's terrible. I ain't gonna lie, that is terrible. If that was true of all those allegations, that's terrible, Soulja Boy. Zambrono said the jury of 7 women and 5 men. He pointed a Draco gun at her. He locked her in a room, threatened her family, threatened her, denied her food. So it was on some like R. Kelly stuff. Put him in prison. That's what I'm saying. The lawyer showed the juror screen grabs of text messages between the woman and Way. In one exchange on April 20th, 2020, Way said, I hope you slow. Wow. The Jane Doe responded, you think you can keep hitting on me? You are crazy. To which Way responded, forget you, woman. And other messages. Oh, man. Soldier Boy. Soldier Boy is not looking good. And other messages highlighted during the trial, the woman texted Way, you body slammed me on my head and choked me. I should have just let you hit me. I don't care anymore. I feel lost now. Zambrono said Way never responded to the woman's texted accusations with protests that she was making false claims. He usually ignored them, Zambrono said. When Wade did text a woman, he often asked her to complete tasks such as picking up his food, setting up his computer equipment, and organizing his travel arrangements. Wade also sent disparaging messages like, I hope you catch corona. Ooh. Or I should have, wow. In Wade's defense, the rapper's lead lawyer argued Wade was a victim of an ex-girlfriend advancing a false story for money. The lawyer, Ricky Ivey, argued that when the woman first reported her allegations to the police in December 2020, she didn't tell the investigating deputy that Wade allegedly knocked her unconscious on one occasion and separately smacked her in the mouth and forced her to engage in sloppy. He said her story evolved over time. He also argued the woman could have escaped her false imprisonment at Wade's house when she traveled through airports that were crawling with police. Ivy urged the jurors to interpret one December 2020 message sent by the woman to the as a demand of $50,000 in a Dodge Charger. Soulja Boy, now why are you messing with these type of women, bro? $50,000 in a Dodge Charger to resolve her claims. He called the effort extortion and pointed out one text from April 2020. Wade did push back against the woman's claims, telling her to stop texting him police stuff. Plaintiff is motivated by jealousy, revenge, and financial gain, Ivy told the jury. She just wanted to be paid. That's what this case is about. It's not about truth. It's just not. The woman reported her alleged abuse to the Ventura Sheriff's Office in December 2020. In April 2021, the Ventura County District's Attorney Office declined to file charges due to insufficient evidence to prove the alleged crimes. Wow. So instead, he just gonna get $4 million. Man, come on, bro. Over the 4-week civil trial, the jury heard directly from the woman, Wade, several medical experts, a bodyguard, and one of Wade's managers. In a graphic and harrowing testimony delivered March 19th, the woman described the purported bathroom attack during the police raid in 2019. She claimed Wade chucked several guns out of the window into a steep canyon and was trying to dispose of narcotics in the bathroom, where he allegedly spun her around, pulled her pants down, and started doing the thing. She didn't immediately report the alleged attack to the sheriff's deputy who raided the home because she was terrified of Wade and possible retaliation. She testified, I fear for my life. Doe told the jury on the fourth day of the civil trial. She claimed Wade told her he knew where her mother lives and threatened to send to her house. I was scared that he would do to my family. I didn't want him to hurt anybody because of me, she testified. The woman said she was also desperate for food while living with Wade in early 2019. Excuse me. She gathered loose change from the home and gave it to property gardeners so they could buy her instant noodles. She claims she dropped from 140 pounds to 86 pounds before Wade was sent to jail in April 2019 for a probation violation linked to the raid. I didn't feel human anymore. I felt like an animal. When it was his turn to testify, Wade admitted there was some encounter with the woman when police showed up to the door with his $25,000 a month rental home to serve the search warrant. But he claimed that she consented. I asked her if she wanted to do it, and she did it. He said, she didn't push me away or say stop, nothing like that. Wade, 24, denied he abused a woman in any way, claiming that They bonded during their time together and always acted voluntarily. He said the woman would handle errands for him because he offered her a free place to live, and they struck up a personal relationship, not because she was a paid employee. Did you ever hit the plaintiff in the mouth, bust her lip, or force her to sloppy? His lawyer Ivy denied during the question of Wade's testimony. Of course not. And that's a disgusting allegation, Wade responded. It sounds crazy to me. I did not do that. Wade has been accused of physical and SA by his former girlfriends Kayla Myers and model Nia Riley. See, now this is where the daughter of musician Teddy Riley. See, Soulja Boy, now this is where it goes. You had me until they say you got a history of these allegations. Now, everybody knows you got a history of allegations. You on a much shorter leash. You skating on thinner ice than the other ice of the other ice skaters. It's just the way it goes. It's like Zion Williamson, right? Zion Williamson gets into this thing, or his baby moms gets into this thing with his girl or the side chick or whatever the case might be, and it's in the news. People didn't really care because the Nuggets the same day fired their entire coaching staff and general manager, and they said we're going to figure it out with 2 days left to go into the playoffs, right? Still, in New Orleans, when New Orleans is deciding what they want to do with the future of the franchise, they're looking like, I don't know, man. They're looking at that situation a little deeper than they normally would because of the previous accusations and things that he's done. So, going back to Soulja Boy, you get less of the benefit of the doubt when you have a history of this stuff. Wade appeared on reality shows like Love and Hip Hop Hollywood and Marriage Boot Camp with Riley. In 2001, Riley sat down with the YouTube vlogger Tasha K and said Wade threatened her with a blink and kicked her in the stomach while she was pregnant, causing her to suffer a miscarriage. Oh, my goodness. Myers claimed a prior lawsuit that she had a romantic relationship with Wade that ended when he allegedly held a blink to her gun, threatened her life, and what in the world, and assaulted her in her home on February 1st, 2019. A civil court jury found Wade liable for the assault and kidnapping of Myers at a prior trial. Wade is set to begin his 32 swag tour this summer. His first concert is on April 11th in California. Man, he gonna have to do all the shows to make up for that. 4 million. Jeez Louise, Soulja Boy. Gotta move smarter, bro. Can't put yourself even in those positions to be even near those positions, man.
Snaps for losers, man. I don't get involved in that stuff, but
George Rashad Milligan rolling out.
That's a good question.
Brandon,
We
one quick
can't
question.
ask Rashad a question.
Hey, Rashad.